YouTube, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. So today I'm going to be doing a reading blog which includes looking at the oldest book or the longest book I've had on my TBR and the book that I bought most recently. So we're going to be looking at reading The Dragonfly Pool by Eva Ibbotson and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book I've heard nothing about. It's a YA book, sounds like a mystery, not really got too much knowledge of it. This book is big on Bookstagram, BookTube, BookTok, so I'm really excited to get into this book. It's about a woman, a Hollywood icon in the 80s, and her navigating her way through life and navigating that obviously through the 7 husbands that she has. So I'm really excited to get into these books, and I hope you enjoy the video. Guys, I have a confession to make. I'm really sorry. I've made a mistake. So I filmed the intro to this video holding up The Dragonfly Pool and Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo as the oldest and the newest book on my TBR. Sat down last night to start The Dragonfly Pool. Really excited to start it and to see the story, especially as I was like, I've had this on my TBR for years. Literally read the first page and went, I've read this before. And the whole story came back to me and I was like, I've definitely read this book. So decided I'm not going to carry on with that because I thought my views on it will come across quite fake, as like I say, it's not a first read for me. It's not one that I desire to reread either at the moment. So I was like, I'm just going to pick up my next oldest book, which I figured out to be P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern. This book, I've seen the film, so I know the storyline, and you will have seen a clip of me already this morning reading it. I am now at page 124 on chapter 17. I do want to get some more reading of this done tonight. It is currently the 3rd of November, so the Sunday before you're seeing this. So I've got this book and the Evelyn Hugo book to get through this week, which I think are doable. The text in this book, because it's a larger book, so we've got our normal standard size and then we've got our larger book as well, and so the writing is nice and big, nice margins, which means I am flying through this. Like I say, I've read 124 pages and I've sat there and I was reading it whilst also watching Titanic at the same time. So I'm really enjoying this. For anyone that doesn't know, this book is about a woman called Holly, who her husband Jerry has just passed away with cancer, and he has left her a list of things to do. So she gets one note each month, a list of things to do to try and help her get over his grieving, because and they say in the book, it's always joked that without him she wouldn't be able to manage and wouldn't be able to live. And so he's made jokes throughout their kind of time together about creating a list for her, silly things like buying milk when the milk's empty, stuff like that. And so now he has curated a list whilst he was dying of cancer, and she's getting the notes each month, and it's just going through her story of how she's managing this grieving process whilst also seeing what the notes say and completing those tasks and watching her do that. Really enjoying it so far. I'm just over a quarter of the way through, so absolutely loving this. We'll continue to read this, and yeah, I look forward to speaking to you later with hopefully, I reckon I'll speak to you tomorrow, hopefully over halfway, if not maybe even nearly finished. Cecilia Ahern. I ate this book up in 2 days. In the first day I managed to get just under halfway, and then in the second day I read nearly 300 pages of this book, and I absolutely loved it. Now, I gave it 4 stars in the end, so it was a 4-star read for me. I did love it, and I thought it was really good. It made me cry. Over the 2 days I was thinking about the book in between reading it. However, since then I've not overly thought about the book, and it just didn't give me the 5-star feels whilst I was reading it. It's a tearjerker, but it's a predictable story as such. I've seen the film, so I knew what was happening, and I think maybe that took some element of the 5-star feel away, and I think maybe if I hadn't seen the film and I was going through it, then it would have been a 5-star. However, it was a quick read for me, and I absolutely loved it, but just didn't quite get that 5-star feel, which is so frustrating when you are loving a book and the book you are reading just doesn't quite make it to that 5-star feel. So yeah, 4 stars for this one. It is one of those books which I've said previously, I don't give kind of 0.5 and 0.25 like star ratings. However, this was a book where I was like, this is more a 4.5 than it is a 4. It does kind of lean more towards the 5-star range, however, wasn't quite that full 5-star feel to give it a 5-star. So yeah, sticking with my rating of a 4-star. Absolutely love it. Really, really, really looking forward to getting onto the second book. And actually, I think if I finish my TBR this month earlier than the end of the month, I think the second book is the book that I'll probably pick up next after my TBR. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Would recommend, but not quite a 5-star for me. As you would have seen from the last clip, I have now started 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm now 122 pages in, so I'm about a third of the way through, and I have to say I'm really, really enjoying this. I don't feel it's going to be a 5-star. I do find the writing is really bingeable and it is really easy to read. However, I'm also not overly hooked to the story, as it's reading more of a biography style book. It's just not hooking me straight in, which is frustrating because I've heard lots of really good things about Taylor Jenkins Reid. However, I'm currently reading about the second husband, and I'm just not liking him, and I think maybe that is kind of taking me away from the story a little bit. And so I'm hoping with the next husbands going through that I will actually start to like them a little bit more as characters. However, I do really enjoy Evelyn Hugo as a character, and her story and everything about that side of it, and reading about Hollywood. But yeah, not a 5-star at the moment. Obviously there is scope for that to change. However, for me at the moment, it's leaning more towards a 4-star. It's a really, really good book. I'm really, really enjoying it. However, not quite that 5-star feel. Hoping to finish this within the next couple of days. I've got a day off work today, so I'm going to try and read as much as I can of it today. And yeah, I look forward to updating you a little bit more, either slightly further through or when I finished it. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. What a book. I really enjoyed this book, and I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. It didn't, again, I'm just struggling at the moment. I'm not getting the 5-star feel, and I'm not sure whether it's starting this YouTube channel and having videos to read for, which is maybe why I'm not getting the 5-star feel, but I'm hoping to kind of push through that. However, loved this book. Really enjoyed the twist at the end of the story kind of all connecting together, because at the start obviously it's alluded to that everyone connects and there's a reason for everything, and I really liked how that ended up. And maybe because I finished it now where my brain's a bit foggy, but I never saw it coming, and when it happened I looked back and I was like, oh my gosh, I should have like guessed it, I should have known. So really enjoyed that. 4 stars, great read, would recommend. I am really looking forward to trying some more Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, because this was my first one, and so I just really think her writing style was really addictive and binge worthy, and if I hadn't have worked, I think I would have smashed this one out a lot quicker. Okay, time to wrap up the 2 books I've read in this video. Now, like I said at the start, I was meant to read The Dragonfly Pool, but I've had to switch that out with P.S. I Love You, as I've already read The Dragonfly Pool before. So as well, I'm going to replace The Dragonfly Pool with P.S. I Love You for my TBR for this month as well, because technically the TBR prompt was the oldest book on my TBR, or longest book on my TBR, but yeah, I've read The Dragonfly Pool. So read this book. I think I gave this one 4 stars. So I've had a good reading vlog. 4 stars, binged this one, loved it. Really looking forward to starting the second book in this duology. Would recommend if you want a contemporary fiction. It's got an element of romance into it, because you're seeing the romance from her marriage, which she had obviously with her spouse who's passed away, but it's not a romance book. But really enjoyed, and like I say, I really am looking forward to getting into the second book and seeing where the story goes, because at the end of the story, I think if you wanted to read it as a standalone, you're not going to miss too much from the second story, and I think it was a good ending as well at the end. But I'm looking forward to seeing where Cecilia Ahern takes this. And the second book I read in this was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Now, I've just given you my thoughts and feelings, so I'll keep this wrap up quite sweet. Another 4 stars, really enjoyed. Looking forward to reading more of Taylor Jenkins Reid's. I've got Malibu Rising on my TBR because I've bought it recently, so I'm sure I'll be reading that one soon. Although I did research online and I did see that Daisy Jones and the Six is actually the next best one to read, so I'm going to see maybe if I can get that one from the library first before reading Malibu Rising. However, really enjoyed that book, really enjoyed the writing style, and I'm really searching for more multimedia books so in this book you have, let's see if I can find one without giving it anything away. You've got kind of like news articles, that's like a current modern day news article, but you've also got old news articles as well. So really enjoy that kind of aspect, and so I'm looking for more of those books, and especially books with maybe like emails or diary entries or text messages in. So if you have any recommendations for those, please leave them down in the comments, as I love those books. I think one of my favorite books of all time, and I still reread it now, and it's a very YA book, but it's Every Guy's Got One, I think. I'll leave a picture on the screen for you. And that book is a trip that 2 best friends make, or 2 sets of best friends make, so they can get married. And as you can imagine, it's a romance, and it follows like a diary style, but obviously it's got 2 diaries in it, so it's like dual POV. You've also got extracts from like train tickets, receipts, and clippings from bits and pieces in there. I find it such a fast, easy read, and if I'm ever in a slump or if I'm ever not reading, then that is a book that I just want to read every single time. So that kind of multimedia books I really enjoy. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and getting to this stage. If you made it to the end of this video, leave a love heart emoji, or the envelope with a love heart on emoji, and like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Have a good week.